Looks interesting, doesn't it? The thing that really grabs the attention with the D60 is the way it looks, the way it was designed. The designers really wanted to go for a more European look, and you can tell by the way the vehicle has been shaped. For example, the clamshell hood, it looks very Euro. You have the massive black grille right there with a silver highlight in front. The Maxus name has been spelled out. They did not use a logo in this version. It has a silver underwriter or silver splitter underneath. And then you have here, well, these are not headlights. These are actually the DRLs. So when you turn on your vehicle, these all light up. These are all LEDs with a strip up here, and then three smaller LEDs down below. Your headlights are actually down here, high and low beams. In this version, these are halogens, but in the 1.5T Elite, well, you get them in LEDs. Now, when you view it from the side, the D60, well, appears larger than it initially did from the front. You can also tell that Maxus really focused on giving the vehicle a few more details to make it stand out amongst its competitors. You have a few character lines that run along the length of the vehicle on the side. You have a few trim pieces on the side, like these fender flares. You have that trim piece down there, and you have these gray 17-inch wheels. The doors on the D60 are actually quite tall, and they open quite wide. The story is the same for the front and for the back. It should make ingress and egress a lot easier. But perhaps the most unique thing about this vehicle is the way they designed the greenhouse. Instead of going for a floating roof, Maxus went for a belt line trim that goes all the way up, kinks up, and then meets up with the roof rails. That's pretty neat. Now with the back, you can tell that Maxus really wanted a clean look. You have the Maxus logo cleanly spelled out here on the tailgate, and you've got a contrasting bumper down below. It has gloss black, matte black, and silver. It kind of matches the whole body, the whole look, gives it a nice contrast, especially in this color called waste red. But perhaps the most unique thing about the D60 is this continuous tail light bar. It's all LEDs, and it even has a neat crystal-like effect right inside. There are two ways to open the tailgate of the Maxus D60. One is via the key. There's a button right here to release it, but the other one is via the release button right here on the tailgate. No, it's not down here, it's actually right up here. When you press it, it gives you access to the spacious cargo area. Now, when you do open the tailgate of the D60, you've got a nice and versatile and very functional cargo area. You've got a tonneau cover here that you can retract and then click onto this little roller thing here. You've got a nice flat floorboard there. There are pockets all around, like one here. There's a cup holder there. There's a recess down there. You've got two hooks on either side and even an LED light right here. But best of all, if you're a bit of a neat person, you're gonna like this. There are lots of compartments underneath the floorboard. You have your tools down there, and then you have a lot of unused compartments here that you can configure the way you like if you want to store some stuff in the car. And right underneath there is your full-size spare tire. But the D60 has a very neat trick up its sleeve. You see, this 5-seater version, those rear seats actually fold fully flat and very neatly. The other version of the D60, which is the D60 Elite, also has another pair of seats right here, and they also fold flat. That means whichever version you get, you have a nice long and flat load space to be able to carry stuff. So here's the back seat of the Maxus D60 5-seater. There's another version, the 7-seater. We haven't seen that yet, so we couldn't describe what it's like inside, particularly in the third row. But in this one, we can already tell you that there is a lot of legroom here in the back. Maxus was able to pull that off because of the longer wheelbase. They were able to set the rear axle a bit further back, giving them more space to play with for the rear seats. What's apparent is that Maxus designed the rear space to be as functional as can be. For instance, both of the seat backs have a variety of pockets in them that are good for your phone or for your iPad or even laptop. If you need to charge them while they're in the pocket, you have a 5-volt USB port as well as a 12-volt socket. So if you have one of those little charger things, you can just plug it in there and you're good to go. For comfort, you have dual AC vents here. You also have pockets here on the doors, so you can have your bottles there, your bottles of water there. One thing we want to point out is that Maxus re-engineered the doors in a way that they have the speakers quite high up. That should aid in overall sound quality from the audio system. Now, in terms of the seating, you can have 3 people here in the back. The seat itself is a 60-40 split, and you can recline these seats up to 9 positions. So depending on your comfort preference, you can set your own seat the way you want to. And if you don't have anybody sitting here in the middle, well, you can just pop down the armrest, which also has 2 cup holders, and relax for a long drive. So this is the interior of the Maxus D60. And they designed it in a manner that's in keeping with a lot of modern touches, particularly this center stack here that kicks up and forms kind of an iPad or a tablet-like form up here. It's also a floating console, so you have a bit of space right under it for a 12-volt socket, as well as another USB port that connects to this 8-inch touchscreen audio unit. Here you have your gear selector, you have your park, your reverse, your neutral, your drive, and then you have sport mode with the plus-minus gate if you want to shift yourself. You've got your stability control off button right here. You've got your electronic parking brake, as well as an auto brake hold, which should prove useful in our kind of traffic. If you need to put some stuff away, you've got a compartment here. It also has 2 USB ports, which are perfectly placed because there's a little recess also here, which is perfect for your phone. Now, if you're anything like us and you have your morning coffee with your morning drive, then you will appreciate the cup holders right here. Now, in front of you, you have your instrument cluster. But it's not just any other instrument cluster, because there's something different about this one. Normally, in most vehicles, both the tachometer and speedometer, they sweep the needles, the needles sweep the same way, which is usually clockwise. In this case, no. Your speedometer is clockwise, but your tachometer is not. It's anti-clockwise. So it gives it a nice symmetry. In the middle of your 2 gauges is the multi-info display. And here you can see the time, your odometer, your fuel consumption, your available fuel, the engine temperature, and a lot of other important information for your drive. As for the mechanicals of the Maxus D60, you have a 1.5 liter direct injection turbo petrol engine. It makes 169 horsepower and 250 Newton meters of torque. It drives the front wheels via a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. The power steering unit of the D60 is electronic, not hydraulic, so it should be light generally for urban driving. You also have a McPherson strut independent front suspension, well as a multi-link rear suspension system. No, it's not a torsion beam for the D60. In terms of brakes, well, you've got vented discs front and back, along with stability control, anti-lock brakes, and everything else in between that you need for a mid-size crossover. That's about it for our time with the new Maxus D60 Pro. This version retails for 1,148,000 pesos, but if you need an extra row of seats, you have the Maxus D60 Elite. That one is priced at 1,258,000 pesos. If you want to know more, you can always visit any of the Maxus dealerships nationwide and they'll be more than happy to assist you. This is Vince of Auto Industria. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as to follow our Facebook page, our Instagram account, and our Twitter account.